Hello guys, and welcome back to part 5 in this 8-part sub-series of my new lyrical analysis series, this 8-part sub-series on What's the Story Morning Glory album by Oasis. Today I'm going to be tackling Hey Now and Some Might Say. So, without further ado, it's going to be a lot to unpack in 15 minutes, but I just thought there wasn't as much about these songs because they're a bit nonsensical and whatever. I'm going to kind of speed through these ones a little bit more so than I would of something like Wonderwall. So, without further ado, I'm going to get straight into Hey Now. I hitched a ride with my soul by the side of the road, just as the sky turned black. I took a walk with my fame down memory lane. I never did find my way back. So I kind of like this. It's a little bit sing-songy, a little bit of a rhyme. Hitched a ride with my soul by the side of the road. Very interesting, like, metaphorical allusions. We're dealing with, like, deep stuff again here, clearly. Just as the sky turned black, so it's nighttime. Took a walk with my fame down memory lane. Never did find my way back. So it's like, now that he's famous, he's remembering, like, when he wasn't famous. Or, like, remembering, like, kind of looking back into that. But can't quite go back to the way it used to be. Like, now that he's famous, he can't go back. You know that I gotta say, time's slipping away, and what will it hold for me? What am I gonna do while I'm looking at you? You're standing ignoring me. So again, this is another song kind of about the passage of time and, like, mortality a little bit. Kind of like Hello. We talked about that already. Time's slipping away, and what will it hold for me? So, like, I don't know what the future holds. And what am I gonna do while I'm looking at you? You're standing ignoring me. So it's like someone is not paying attention. Again, I don't know who he's talking to here. It could be, like, himself. It could be, like, a person. So pretty interesting lyrics there. And then this is the chorus. I thought I heard someone say now, there's no time for running away now. Hey now, hey now. So, very interesting. I heard someone say now, there's no time for running away. So, kind of like, again, this is about, like, urgency. Like, there's no time. No time for running away. Kind of like, I'm not really sure, like, running away from your fame. Like, once you're in this situation, you can't get out of it, a little bit. Feel no shame, because time's no chain. Feel no shame. So, almost like I can do, like, what I want, because I'm not going to let this time get me down. I'm not going to let it tie me down. So that's the kind of vibe I get from that line. And then, the first thing I saw as I walked through the door was a sign on the wall that read, it said, you might never know what I want you to know, what is written inside of your head. So the sign is saying that, you might never know what I want you to know. So, what's written inside your head. And time as it stands won't be held in our hands, or living inside of my skin, which is interesting. And as I fell from the sky, I asked myself, why can I never let anyone in? So, again, talking about time as it stands, won't be held in my hands. Again, like, I'm not going to let time stop me. And, then we have, at the end here, we have, I asked myself why I can never let anyone in. Again, it's like almost like being emotionally closed off from people, or from someone, or like that fame has made him emotionally closed off. And then I thought that I heard someone say now, there's no time for running away now, hey now, feel no shame, because time's no chain, feel no shame. And then, we have, I hitched a ride of my soul by the side of the road just as the sky turned black. I took a walk with my fame down memory lane. I never did find my way back. So again, we got the fame. You know that I gotta say time's slipping away, and what will it hold for me? What am I gonna do while I'm looking at you? You're standing ignoring me. So he almost could be, like, talking to himself a little bit, or, like, talking to the people he's, like, closed off from. And then I thought I heard someone say now, there's no time for running away now, hey now. And then, feel no shame, because time's no chain. So, very interesting. I think it's about, like, a little bit, like, the passage of time, and how, and also, like, how fame makes him, like, a bit closed off, and, it's a really interesting song to delve into. So, moving on now, that was a pretty short one. Moving on now to Some Might Say, which is a bit more interesting in terms of lyrics. So, I think, this song to start kind of resists analysis a bit, because there are some lyrics which are clearly nonsensical on purpose, a la something like I'm a Walrus, which is just nonsense on purpose. But it's also interspersed. There is some real stuff that deserves analysis here. So the first line, some might say that sunshine follows thunder, go and tell it to the man who cannot shine. So people say, like, after the storm, like things are going to get better after the storm. But tell that to the person who can't see that bright spot, can't see that coming, who can't shine, who is, like, depressed or, like, sad and can't see that coming. Some might say that we should never ponder on our thoughts today because they hold sway over time. So kind of like don't sit around and ponder, because it's not, like, it's gonna change. It's not gonna, like, matter in the end. And then some might say we will find a brighter day. Some might say we will find a brighter day. So again, that's kind of a sentiment. It's like a sentiment of, like, someday, like, yeah. So someday we'll find a brighter day. And then here's the nonsensical part, because I've been standing at the station in need of education in the rain. You made no preparation for my reputation once again. So, again, standing at the station, need of education in the rain. So, again, this could tie back a little bit to education. Again, a lot of this is alliteration, alliterative. A lot of this sounds good. It's not so much about meaning here. Made no preparation for my reputation once again. I think that's a really good alliterative thing there. Preparation for my reputation. And I like that a lot. Made no preparation for my reputation once again. So it's like you're not prepared for how famous I am. So a lot of this is about, like, a lot of this album in general, because, like, definitely maybe made them famous. I feel like a lot of this album is about, like, struggling with that newfound fame a little bit, which is a really interesting theme to explore and delve into. So it's complex. You like it, but at the same time, it makes a lot of things really hard. So going, and then this is the really nonsensical part. The sink is full of fishes. She's got dirty dishes on the brain. It was overflowing gently, but it's elementary, my friend. So, again, I like the concept of, like, overflowing gently, but it's almost like she's, like, daydreaming. I don't know why there are fish in the sink, but she's, like, daydreaming with, like, the dishes. All right. And then this next verse here is pretty interesting. So some might say they don't believe in heaven. Go and tell it to the man who lives in hell. So this is kind of interesting. Talking about not believing in heaven or whatever. Again, I was talking about in the last part how there's, like, a lot of kind of John Lennon references and stuff going on here. So this automatically made me think of Imagine. Like, Imagine There's No Heaven. That automatically made me think of that, which I'm not sure if that was intentional, but that's kind of what it made me think of. And it's a really interesting. Go and tell it to the man who lives in hell. It's almost like he lives in hell now, so he's like, I regret, like, that I used to believe there wasn't a heaven, but, like, I got punished for it, and I regret it. That's kind of a little bit of the vibe I get from that sentiment. And Noel Gallagher is an atheist, but he does talk about God. He has a lot of themes of, like, religion. Seems to be fascinated with the concept of God, which is really interesting. Or it could be more figurative. It could be living in hell, not literal hell, but just like, again, it could tie back to the sunshine and thunder thing from earlier. How you can't see the bright spot. Some people can't see the bright spot, or some people can't see heaven. Like, some people can't see and we'll be getting into sunlight and bright spots and depressed people a lot in the next episode, but, because we're talking about Cast of Shadow on that one. But, so this, again, this also reminds me of what he said about Kurt Cobain, and, how, like, Kurt Cobain is one of those, like, was a very lost soul. I'm not saying this is about Kurt Cobain, but I'm saying how Noel Gallagher observes people like that and doesn't understand how people can be like that, hopeless or whatever, which is kind of funny now because he just seems like a cynical, annoying guy now. He seems like your cynical, annoying uncle, but I still love him, but you know what I mean. So, getting back to the video, getting back to that, really interesting line there. And then some mates say, you get what you've been given. If you don't get yours, I won't get mine as well. So, I feel like that line, if you don't get yours, I won't get mine as well, is kind of like we all need to work together and help each other, because because we help each other to, like, get stuff. And then some might say, we will find a brighter day. I've been standing at the station in need of education in the rain. You made no preparation for my reputation. Once again, the sink is full of fishes because she's got dirty dishes on the brain. And my dog's been itching in the kitchen once again, which is pretty nonsensical. I don't think that ties into anything. I think it's funny. And then some might say, you know what some might say. So, yeah, so pretty basic there. Nothing too crazy, but definitely really interesting. The next episode is we're going to get really deep with Cast No Shadow. So, I hope you enjoyed. And please subscribe to the channel. Bye!